Islam Makhachev just dropped new footage that has the MMA world doing a double take. Gone is the lean, tactical, lightweight we're used to seeing because what we're seeing now is a monster. Islam looks absolutely massive, grappling on the beach in Dubai, muscles packed on like he's been training to ragdoll heavyweights instead of lightweights. Fans are stunned, some even asking if this is a preview of a new era, the welterweight Makhachev. And with his debut at 170 just weeks away, that transformation might not just be for show. But while Islam's body is evolving, another champion's heart is being tested. Tom Aspinall just revealed that he'd rather vacate his heavyweight title than fight his close friend and training partner, Ante Delija. In a sport built on ego and rivalry, that level of loyalty caught everyone off guard, and it's got fans debating what truly defines a champion. If you want to stay ahead of every major MMA twist like this, make sure to subscribe button and let's dive right in. The new beach footage of Islam Makhachev doesn't just look like training, it looks like a warning.
Islam Makhachev is huge. I mean, that guy, how he makes 155 is, I don't understand it. Every time I stand next to him, I'm like, how are you 155?
How much do you think he walks around?
He's got to be 190-ish, in the 190 range.
I never saw him in a person.
He's thick and big. I mean, he's not he's not a 155-pound man.
He's grappling in the sand with a frame that seems thicker across the shoulders and back, the kind of size you notice even through a loose shirt. His hips look heavier when he sprawls. His grip looks mean when he latches on. People online keep pausing the clip and zooming in because it almost feels like we're looking at a different phase of his career. He moves with calm, like the extra mass hasn't slowed him at all. That's the scary part. He still flows. The sand shifts under his feet, but he stays balanced, almost playful, like he's testing how the added power translates to control. Each takedown ends the same way he's on top, and the other guy is stuck. If you've watched his fights, you know that feeling. Now imagine it with more weight behind it. This isn't just a highlight, it's a message for a new division. And if this is how he looks outside the cage, imagine the version that walks in under the lights. Because the real story begins when that door closes and a welterweight tries to stand him up.
What do your meals actually consist of?
Today, breakfast, eggs. For the lunch, I have, I think, some chicken. And for the dinner, always they give us fish.
Are you eating carbs or no carbs?
No carbs this week, no carbs.
What makes this leap so interesting is how he got here. Islam's rise at lightweight was built on details. Hand fighting that takes away your posts, pressure that forces a mistake, and patience that makes you pay for it. His coaches talk about discipline, not flash, and you can see that in the way he repeats the same chain over and over until it's automatic. Now the training seems tilted towards strength and power. His back and traps look thicker, and the core work shows when he rides on top without drifting. He's also drilling entries from farther out, almost like he's planning for longer arms and heavier hips at 170. Still, the tricks that made him great at 155 are there. Knee tap to outside trip, wrist ride to cross wrist, that smothering half guard where he keeps your head turned away from the exit.
I will try to be big, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly, we bring 2 kg right now.
The new muscle doesn't replace the technique, it strengthens it, and that's the nightmare for anyone who thought size alone would finally be the equalizer against him. The timeline adds even more heat. Moving up for a fight with Jack Della Maddalena isn't a soft launch. Jack hits hard, he's sharp in the pocket, and he's good at reading the first layer of defense. He doesn't need a long combo to hurt you, he needs a pocket and a second. That's the test Islam chose for his first welterweight step. The risk is simple. If you get clipped while closing distance, everything gets harder. The reward is bigger. Walk through a top striker at 170, and you instantly belong among the sharks. That's why the footage matters. It's not just size for show. It looks like a build made to walk through hands and pin guys to the fence. If he wins, he's not just a lightweight champ who tried welterweight. He becomes the new problem at 170, and if he looks dominant, the talk changes from can he hang to can anyone stop this style 2 divisions in a row.
Today morning, I go to the UFC PI. I'm in shape, I training. I'm not cut weight. I don't follow like diet.
Yep.
I eat everything. My weight 180 this morning.
180?
Yes.
Oh, God. You're massive.
Fans are split in the best way. Half of them think the bulk means Islam will run through welterweights with even less trouble. They point to his control rate, his finishes, and the way opponents seem to get tired just trying to stand up underneath him. The other half thinks the move is a trap. They say the extra size will make his entries a touch slower, and that welterweights hit and defend like small middleweights. Both sides have a point, and that's what keeps people watching the clips frame by frame. One freeze shows his hands locked high and tight behind a partner's back, like a seatbelt that won't slip. Another shows his knees carving across the sand with balance that shouldn't be possible on that surface. Even the way he resets tells a story. He breathes through his nose, shoulders low, eyes clear. Whatever camp this is, it looks like a plan, not a stunt. And plans like this usually include a belt at the end, or at least a path that points straight at one. Jack Della Maddalena is the kind of gate that tells the truth. He loves the tight hook as you step in, and he's comfortable setting traps with small feints that make you bite just enough. If Islam shoots lazy or shoots from too far, he'll pay. But if he gets to two hands on a leg or a body lock on the fence, the whole fight flips.
They said that Islam Makhachev would get the title shot up at 170 if you won this belt tonight. What do you think about that?
I think it's a beautiful challenge, you know, he's pound for pound #1. I'm going to get him back for Volk.
Jack's defense under pressure is solid, yet we don't see him stuck on the mat for long stretches often, and that's where Islam can live. The question is whether Jack can keep his feet and land damage early. The second question is whether Islam's added mass lets him finish positions faster instead of having to cook them over minutes. That matters because the longer you stay upright with Jack, the more danger you face. The longer you stay on bottom with Islam, the smaller your world gets. The fight is a race to a comfort zone. If Islam's new build helps him win that race by a second, it could be the longest night Jack has ever had. While all that's brewing, Tom Aspinall did something you don't hear from champions. He drew a line in the sand.
Hey! Oh! Come on, let's go! Oh, yes! Yes! Yeah!
He said he would rather give up his belt than fight his close friend Ante Delija. People called it wild at first. Who turns down a title defense? But the more you listen, the more it makes sense. Tom has always sounded like a guy who knows what matters to him. He didn't waver. He didn't make it a stunt. He just said it straight. Friendship means more than money or belts. That honesty hit a nerve in a good way. It reminded people that fighters are humans first. They laugh, they trust, they build bonds in the gym that go deeper than business. And sometimes a line needs to stay a line. Tom didn't need to do this for hype. He's already a star. He did it because he meant it. That kind of choice doesn't show up on a record, but it sticks in people's minds longer than a win does. It also cracked open an old debate. What matters more, loyalty or legacy? Some say a champion should face anyone, no questions asked, because that's the job. Others say there has to be a limit when it comes to family-level friendships. We've seen friends fight before, some stayed cool, some fell apart. Tom's stance avoids that risk completely. It says, I can be great without crossing that one line. Critics argue that history won't remember the what-ifs. Fans, though, remember moments that feel real, and this felt real. It's a rare thing in a sport that often asks for drama. Tom offered something different, values. You can agree or disagree, but you can't say it was fake. And down the road, if he keeps winning and his friend keeps climbing, the story only gets more tense.
Peak DC has the worst style for me ever. I've said this to his face as well. He's like,
Yeah.
short guy who just keeps walking forward, changing levels in between like grappling punches. He can knock you out, he can take you down. He's got like cardio for days. For my style,
Yeah.
he's a knight.
Lines can hold, but the higher you go, the more the world tries to erase them. There was another piece that showed Tom's thinking clearly. He said Daniel Cormier would be his worst matchup ever. That's not a knock on himself. That's honesty about style. DC's short frame, level changes, and ability to blend hands into takedowns make him a puzzle you can't solve with size alone. Tom knows this because he studies how fights really work. He sees that a shorter man who never stops moving forward, who can grab a single leg from nowhere and turn it into a dump, is built to make tall, fast heavyweights uncomfortable. Sharing that shows a champion who doesn't need to pretend. He can admire a tough style and still believe he could figure it out with the right plan. It also tells you why Tom is so good. He's not blinded by his gifts. He understands danger, he builds answers, and when he talks about friends and lines he won't cross, it comes from the same place. Clear eyes, steady voice, no games. Both stories, Islam's size jump and Tom's moral stand, shake their divisions in different ways. If Islam wins at 170, the top of welterweight gets a new problem overnight. Styles that used to be safe can become unsafe. Fighters who like to bully might find themselves being moved backward for the first time in years. If Tom sticks to his line and keeps defending against everyone else, the heavyweight picture will keep moving, but with a fresh layer of respect for the man holding the belt. Matchmakers can pivot, divisions can adapt, fans get new angles to argue about, and that's the beauty of this moment. Power and principle can both change a sport. One turns game plans into guesswork, the other turns headlines into conversations about what it means to win. Both stick. The energy around Islam is about momentum, almost like a storm forming in slow motion. The energy around Tom is about gravity, a center that holds no matter how loud the wind gets. Put them side by side and you get a full picture of why people love this sport. It's not only knockouts and belts, it's choices and changes. It's the work you can see in a beach clip and the work you can't see inside a person's chest. If Islam plants his flag at welterweight, the chase begins. If Tom keeps setting his own rules and winning anyway, he becomes the kind of champion even rivals respect. Both stories are still being written, both can end with gold. And both can leave a mark that lasts long after the belts move on to someone else. So here we are, one fighter building a body for a new mountain, another building a standard for himself that no one else can set. The next few months will answer the big questions. Can Islam carry that added power into a cage full of bigger men and keep his timing, his pressure, and his control? Can Tom keep his promise to himself and still take on every threat that isn't wearing his friend's face? The clips, the interviews, the training whispers, they all point to something rare. We're watching two champions choose who they want to be before the world chooses for them, and that's why we watch. Because every takedown, every round, and every stance they take tells us a little more about what greatness really looks like when the lights are bright and the choices are hard. Islam Makhachev and Tom Aspinall are proving that greatness doesn't always look the same. For Islam, it's the transformation of a fighter who refuses to stand still, someone hungry to test himself in new waters, even when he's already sitting on top. Every new clip, every beach grapple, feels like a glimpse into the next evolution of dominance. For Tom, greatness looks quieter but no less powerful. It's found in loyalty, in the kind of character that reminds people why they respect fighters beyond the cage. One man is chasing history through sheer power, while the other guards his integrity even when it costs him. Both paths are bold, both rare, and both shaping the future of the UFC in completely different ways. As fans, we get to watch it all unfold, the rise, the risks, and the moments that define who these champions really are. And if this is just the start of what's coming next, the MMA world is about to get even wilder. Make sure to subscribe because the next chapter in this story might just change everything.